Hey everybody, welcome to The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the Extended Edition, Part 2. We're going to dive right into it. Let's go!
There's only one way to eat a brace of conies. What we need's a few good taters.
What's taters, huh?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I like them baked into french fries.
Mr. Frodo?
Where'd Mr. Frodo go? An army. They march on.
It won't be long now. He will soon be ready
Ready to do what?
to make his war.
Bad stuff. We'll see those in action in The Return of the King. Oliphant. They seem to be cousins of the elephant. Ah! Whoops. Human. You guys are like children fighting against adults. It's just not gonna work.
His sense of duty was no less than yours, I deem. You wonder what his name is.
No.
Find their hands.
It was deliberate. It was deliberate.
Deliberate.
And she was left alone to tend her king in growing fear, doomed to wait upon an old man. Should have loved her as a father.
Yeah, they're just trying to spark that love between her and Aragorn. Isn't going to work.
Thank you.
Looks slightly disgusting. Ugh. Hey, it's good. No, it's not.
It's good.
Really? My uncle told me a strange thing. He said that you rode to war with Thengel.
Like how he kind of winced a little bit as if it burned.
Then you must be at least 60.
This is definitely something they cut out because we didn't know Aragorn's age.
87.
It was said that your race had passed into legend.
It sucks that they cut this out of the theatrical version. It's pretty important for the character. It shows how wise he is and why you should probably take in some of his advice when he gives it. It makes Aragorn actually a more interesting character, knowing that he's lived basically a full life of a man. What a dream.
This is a dream.
A good dream.
Then it is a good dream.
She agrees. I like how they did her ears. They're subtle. I love the music. It's a very beautiful language. And these actors had to learn it in order to do this role. Maybe not all of it, but enough to understand what they're saying. They have good chemistry on screen. And they really build up the love between these two characters over the course of 3 movies. It's a pretty epic love story in reality. Better than most of the romances that you see when it comes to just the one-off films that they have out there.
Where is she? The woman who gave you that jewel.
Our time here is ending. Let her go. Let her take the ship into the west.
She stays because she still has hope.
She stays for you. She belongs with her people.
Father wanting what's best for his daughter, I guess. What? I don't remember Liv Tyler having much of a role in this.
I'm mortal. You are elfkind. It was a dream, Arwen.
I don't believe you.
It's a beautiful name, Erwin.
My lord?
So did he like walk for a good 2 or 3 minutes just in thought until she waited for an answer? Bad people. Wargs. I guess they're like hyena-sized horses.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Or horse-sized hyenas. Got Legolas. Such a badass.
Helm's Deep. And make haste.
I can fight.
No!
Yeah, yes I can. A final look. He's accurate as hell. I love how he gets up on this horse. Still looks pretty good too, how they did it. They hit it with the king passing by him. I love throughout the movies they have this contest between Legolas and Gimli. Who can kill the most? Gotta do more push-ups, my friend. Oh, you can tell that's green screen behind him. Sometimes the flaws just show up. No! Don't die. I think you're gonna make it, man.
They took a little tumble off the cliff. You lie.
Nope, he doesn't. His elvish eyes don't see him.
The The wolves of Isengard will return. Leave the dead.
What?
Come.
Okay, just give me a second.
Helm's Deep.
Hooray! We've made it.
Safe, my lady.
Are we safe, though? Why not just stay here? I mean, it's more of a fortified castle than the place they're at currently in Rohan. I mean, I'd just make the village here. You have nice shade going on. You know, I mean, why not? It's a good stronghold as well, evidently. I'm sure there's a history to this that I'm just unaware of in the books.
So few of you have returned.
Our people are safe. We have paid for it with many lives.
Yes, I know, by what I just said earlier.
Lord Aragorn.
He died.
He fell.
He'll be okay.
One of those who cannot fight, my lord. The women and children.
Get them into the caves.
I'll give them swords too. Maybe they can hold their own. Uh-oh.
Helm's Deep has one weakness. What kind of device could bring down the wall?
Don't hold that up to that man. Jeez.
If it is breached, it would take a number beyond reckoning. Thousands. There is no such fall.
Yeah, there is. In his backyard. This is another epic shot. I remember seeing this in the trailer. I was just like, wow. You never really seen armies like this up until this film. And if you did see something that was close to what the number of people they have in this, it was usually back in the 40s and 50s and 60s when they had thousands of people show up as background actors. I guess back then they can just pull together a crap load of people for an army if they wanted to. Now you can just do it all on computer.
There was a time when Saruman would walk in my woods. He no longer cares for growing things.
It's kind of sad. Hey, at least he landed face up. Wake up. I like that. That was a nice little transition. Horse. What a nice horse. It's kind of a weird camera angle. Very shaky. It's like they did it handheld. Staying, father.
He is not coming back.
You don't know that.
Why do you linger here when there is no hope?
Always hope.
There is still hope.
She knows.
If survives this war, you will still be parted.
You don't know that for sure.
There will be no comfort for you.
That's just life. I mean, he still looks pretty good for an old man, even in death. Why can't she just take a boat after he passes away? Of course. Well, they really make the Elvish score sound very heavenly. Bye, father. See you later.
Frodo begins to understand. The quest will claim his life. You know this.
But will it? You think over thousands of years they would figure out that the things that they see or foresee tends to not always come to pass, you know, so have a little faith.
The young captain of Gondor has but to extend his hand, take the ring for his own.
But will his will be stronger than that of his brothers? Maybe.
Do we leave Middle-earth to its fate? Do we let them stand alone?
No. Shouldn't. I like how they don't answer that question, though. They leave it until it is answered later on in the story. Some writers would just go right for it and say, we're sending an army of elves. But this one, they like, no, he has to make that decision while we're not looking.
Sauron will strike us soon. He knows now we do not have the strength to repel him.
I'm pretty sure they cut that one scene, which wasn't really needed. You kind of knew where these armies were coming from.
Well, if you're not spies, then who are you? Speak.
We're hobbits from the Shire.
We are hobbits of the Shire.
There you go.
We set out from Rivendell with 7 companions. Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor.
Boromir? You knew my bro?
If something has happened to Boromir, we would have you tell us.
His horn washed up upon the riverbank. More than this, I know it in my heart. He was my brother.
He did pretty good showing that reserve for his emotions until that last word. I don't think he would look like that after going over a waterfall.
And music! And so it shall be once more!
Yeah, this was definitely cut. In the theatrical versions, you never see Sean Bean again after he's killed off in the first movie. But I like that they're showing this because it shows that the brothers actually had a relationship, which they don't show at all, other than the fact that they say they are brothers in the theatrical versions.
Where is Gondor's finest? Where is my firstborn?
John Noble. They introduced him in this film in the extended version. You don't see him in the theatrical until Return of the King. If you like John Noble, I do. He is on a show called Fringe. You can probably pull up streaming somewhere. Plays a pretty fun character. It's almost like an X-Files in a way. Check it out if you've never seen it.
The One Ring. Isildur's bane. It has fallen into the hands of the elves.
I do like that there is backstory here that kind of gives more weight to what was happening in the first movie. It shows Boromir's purpose as to why he was there in Rivendell, which I didn't know until this scene.
A chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality? I think not.
Kind of an asshole for a father.
I trust this mission only to your brother, the one who will not fail me.
And he did. I like that. That was pretty good character development for Boromir that I didn't know of until just now. So that was good. That was cool. And you kind of see that it was all his father that was wanting the ring. It wasn't Boromir at all. Boromir wanted to please his dad because, you know, a son wants to please his father, but he knew what was right and wrong in the end.
So juicy, sweet.
Seems pretty happy without the ring right now.
Smeagol, don't struggle. Smeagol, listen to me.
You know, if Smeagol was just treated with a little dignity, he probably would have turned out okay. But since he was basically beaten and hurt and made fun of all of his life after he received the ring, treated like the scum and dirt that everyone thought he was, but he was basically corrupted by the ring. And this whole scene right here basically turned Smeagol back into the Gollum that we knew him to be, into the asshole that...
If I put it on, he'll find me. He'll see.
That always makes me wonder about Bilbo. The guy had the ring for decades, and not once did the Dark Lord, Sauron, see him when he put the ring on. I mean, what's the deal there? Was he just not strong enough to go after it at that point until Frodo was the one to take it over? I don't know. Let me know, comment below. Why did Sauron not go after the ring when Bilbo had it?
Chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality.
Or show your corruption?
The ring will go to Gondor.
Not a good idea.
Armor is thick and their shields broad.
Send out riders, my lord. You must call for aid.
And who will come?
You can ask. No harm in it.
Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell? Where was Gondor when our enemies closed in around us?
Pride kills more than courage. Pride in yourself, keeping you from asking for help. It's definitely a weakness this king has, but he has plenty of courage. That's those damn birds again.
What's that?
'Tis a gathering.
'Tis? Other tree folk.
You do not command the others to stay. They fight beside you because they would not be parted from you. Because they love you.
Yeah, but he's not your king. I love that in the background. Almost like a matte painting. I'm sure it was done with computer, but it almost looked painted. It was a little nod to the past. No! He's young. Don't worry, Mother. I'll be alive when I see you again.
Look at them. They're frightened.
Of course, against an army of 10,000 people.
Nathadagathair.
Then I shall die as one of them.
Stand your ground. Fight for something, or die for nothing.
And you trust your king? Your men, my lord, will follow you to whatever end. To whatever end.
Well, at least he's in his right mind this time when he's yelling out orders.
Like wind.
The kid's a bit on the young side to be fighting. So is that one. Does put some perspective on the battle they're about to fight when you have children going in with the men.
We only just finished saying good morning.
It's nighttime, though.
It's nighttime already.
So how do they speak? I mean, they just kind of like stand next to each other and vibrate? How does it work? Could be a form of telepathy.
The men are saying that we will not live out the night. They say that it is hopeless.
There is always hope.
True that.
The time I get this adjusted. It's a little tight across the chest.
That is no Orcorn.
It's the elves. They've come to help. Hooray! We might have a chance.
Long ago we fought and died together. We come to honor that allegiance.
Well, thank God for that. I'm not a hugger.
We are proud to fight alongside men once more.
Oh, great. We can all die together. It's going to be a fun time. Should have set up traps out there, put up some trebuchets.
could have picked a better spot.
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
Let's hope they last the night.
Well, rain makes everything more interesting. Hope they have a bathroom in there. Where do they go otherwise? It was a big cavern. Oh, I just start firing arrows now. Who goes first?
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you, or would you like me to find you a box?
Whoops. Oh, good kill. One down, 9,999 to go. Charge the wall.
So it begins.
Yeah, I just keep throwing arrows down into him.
Send them to me! Come on!
Good. Finally get some action. Hell, I just pour some kind of flammable liquid on those ladders and just light them up. The Wilhelm scream. Gotta put it in there.
I'm on 17!
What? Yeah, but he has arrows. It's kind of cheating.
Mary.
So, guys finished the sentence yet?
Just agreed.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes?
We have agreed. You are not orcs.
Oh, hooray.
Our friends are out there. They cannot fight this war on their own.
It's true.
Takes a long time to say anything in Old Entish.
Why don't you speak in English then? Standing in a good place. Yep, didn't think about side shields. Need to get on that.
Is this all you can conjure, Saruman?
You spoke too soon there, man. Whoops. That effect still looks pretty damn good. I mean, that was shot practically one time. I'm sure they had multiple cameras and, you know, a little mixture of CGI along with it. That's not good. Get going. Man, I tell you, dwarves have a special something or other when it comes to just fighting in battles because he's, for a little guy, he just doesn't let nothing stand in his way. Hell yeah, Legolas kills. This guy certainly knows how to kill people. Or orcs.
Yes, cannot hold back this storm.
How can that be your decision?
You should probably go check out the other side of the forest.
But you're part of this world, aren't you?
I think so. Not sure.
But your part in this tale is over. Go back to your home.
I failed.
The fires of Isengard will spread, and the woods of Tuckborough and Buckland will burn.
Yeah, you gotta think of the long term, man. You might have a shire for a couple more years, but eventually it'll burn if you let this evil spread across the land. You think trees would understand that? Things are looking dire for the Kingdom of Rohan. I'm killing. He ain't gonna make it. I wonder how long he was alive for. If you know his age, let me know. Comment below. It would be interesting to see how old he was when he died. King's okay. He'll live. It's a hell of a secret entrance. That rock face kind of moves fairly easily. I mean, it looked like a thick piece of rock, at least 6 inches thick, so for him to push it like that, I think it'd take a little more effort, unless that stone's something that is made out of something that I'm just unaware of.
I cannot jump the distance, you'll have to touch me. Don't tell the elf.
Not a word.
Pretty badass. I mean, just need 2 guys to hold off a whole platoon of orc soldiers. Whoops. He killed a few in that one. If he had about 100 Aragorns, you'd be alright. Well, this isn't going good for the world of man. Something better happen.
I will leave you at the western borders of the forest.
Idea.
Turn around, take us south.
That will lead you past Isengard.
The closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm.
Oh, that doesn't make sense to me.
The ring will not save Gondor. It is only the power to destroy.
Listen.
Let me go.
You're always trying to get somewhere with it.
You should probably look up. Yeah, that'll piss you off.
I'm sorry, Treebeard.
They had voices of their own.
All you had to do was show them. How could Saruman overlook the Ents? Did he not know that if they had one little look at what was going on, did he not think that they would not be pissed off about it? Yes.
His eye is almost on me.
Hold on, Mr.
Will he, though?
Faramir sends a mighty gift.
What's that?
A weapon that will change our fortunes in this war.
I doubt it. Well, that's not good. Well, they're pretty badass, these Nazgul.
There's no other way for the women and children to get out of the caves.
There is one passage. It leads into the mountain, but they will not get far. The Uruk-hai are too many.
Well, they can at least get a head start. They should have been on their way at the beginning of the battle.
The horn of Helm Hammerhand shall sound in the deep one last time. Yes!
That's how a king should go. He should be the one leading the charge. If all wars were fought with the men who led them leading the charge, there'd probably be less war. Gandalf. Thank God. Where have you been? Yeah, Gandalf kind of disappears for a good portion of this movie. It's okay, we got Dr. McCoy on the job and his band of merry men on horseback. I love this part. Just the part when the sun rises, blinds them. And that music, the triumphant music that comes into it. Woohoo! Yeah. Probably one of the best battle scenes in all of movie history. I'm going to say it's among the best ones. I'm not going to say it's the best, but it's up there. Tell you what, hobbits, they have some good hand-eye coordination going on. I mean, they can hit targets from yards away with rocks. Almost like Crocodile Dundee. If you don't know who Crocodile Dundee is, probably check that out. It's a lovely 80s movie. It also had a couple sequels. I would probably skip the third one, but the first two movies are pretty good in the series. That's some more model work being destroyed, and it looks so good still. Woohoo! That guy's charred. Didn't kill them all. I would think there's some places that some orcs got away and lived, but I don't think we ever see those orcs, though. Hey, how's it going? Don't do it. Thanks, Frodo. Hey, man, chill out. Thank God came to your senses. So what, the Nazgul just gives up because an arrow is shot at it?
There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting.
I do believe that myself, Sam, and it's true. He's about to show you a little bit of it.
Keep away from the trees!
I don't believe I remember this part. I will say this scene does show some issues with the CG. It really doesn't look all that great. Probably why they cut it.
He was already dead.
He was twitching.
Twitching? Because he's got my axe embedded in his nervous system.
Still.
Yeah, this was cut too.
What are you doing?
Nothing. That's when they cut it. It's part of that scene where he grew a couple inches.
It's perfect. One barrel each.
Spoils of war. That was a cute scene.
Sauron's wrath will be terrible, his retribution swift.
This is true. We'll figure that out in the next one. So who is the most popular of the hobbits? Is it Samwise? Is it Frodo? Or is it Bilbo? Let me know. Comment below.
Yes, precious, she could. And then we takes it once they're dead.
It kind of leaves it grim. You know, you got Gollum, who has basically come to the conclusion that he's wanting to kill the hobbits, and then it shows what is waiting for them in the next film with Mount Doom and the ever so loving eye staring down upon them. Well, that was it. That was Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers Extended Edition, and a lot of scenes in here that were not in the theatrical version. It showed a lot of stuff when it came to Boromir and Faramir, showing that backstory, kind of gave a little more depth when it came to their father and as to why Boromir was actually in Rivendell and why he was sent there to basically get the ring and bring it back to Gondor for his dad. And you can see why the father is such an asshole in the third movie, because he doesn't like that his second son. He doesn't like the firstborn. He likes Boromir. He loves him more so. For some reason, he has it out for his other son, the younger son. Not sure what the issue is there, other than the fact that he just likes his firstborn a lot better. And when it came to Gollum and Frodo and Sam, it seems like they kind of kept the majority of that story intact for the theatrical version. They didn't do a lot of cutting away from it, because I didn't see many new things when it came to that. But I did see some new stuff when it came to Merry and Pippin and the Ents, who turned out to actually have a few scenes when it came to them in the woods and growing a couple inches, which was kind of a weird scene to begin with, and then they cut out a scene at the very end that had that same sort of discussion about him being shorter than he was earlier in the film. So they had to be pulled out, which also took away from the fact that Saruman was still looking down with Wormtongue next to him at his side. It was interesting that they didn't show them ever again after this film and going on into Return of the King, and it was just them being discussed. That was it. It was also nice to see some more additions to what was going on with Aragorn, and hearing that he's much older than we previously thought if you just saw the theatrical version, being 87 years old. So it kind of gives more weight to his character and more wisdom when he does say things to the king. You should be looking at the king going, dude, you should listen to this guy. He's been in a few battles, even when you were a child. So I'm sure he has a lot of experience when it comes to the realm of fighting and battle in general. Plus, he's the future king of Gondor to begin with as well. So, I mean, he's going to make a good king based on the theatrical version. And I enjoyed this movie altogether. I don't know if I enjoyed it more so than the theatrical version, because I did like a lot of the scenes that added some character depth to this film, but when it came to the actual theatrical version of it, it was more streamlined, it was quicker, more fast-paced, so I understood why they made the cuts when they did make them. But at the same time, I like that these scenes do exist in an alternate version, the extended edition of this movie, to give you more weight and more focus on the story that came from the books. And I guess we'll see what happens with the Lord of the Rings Return of the King extended edition, and what more has been added to this story that I have not been accustomed to seeing when watching The Lord of the Rings. So I guess to see the continuation of this story, don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and until next time, see you later.